Hello and welcome to a new Line War video. Finally some new content from me because a player, Scornful Exultation, asked me in Discord if I can watch a few replays of a suspected Smurf and give my opinion about him. So that's the reason why I started this. So I'm gonna watch and cast a few replays played by the player whatever, or at least that's the name he goes currently. He already changed his name 2 times, so maybe he's doing that on a regular basis. Let's see later some more details about this. But first, I never played against him, and I didn't have seen a replay yet, so this is my first time looking at his play style too. Just before, some information that I found out about this player. He started playing in August. He has 82 matches played, so about 40 hours of gameplay. And as I said, he already changed his name twice. First, he went with some names with Asian letters, so I can't pronounce it. But now he is playing under the name whatever. I will try to start with a replay of his first ever played match. I hope this works because it was played in an earlier version, but we will try that out. That out. And afterwards, I want to cast 2 games against strong players that I know. I don't know the result, as I said. I haven't seen him play yet. But I'm interested how he played against them. Of course, he had the advantage that they didn't expect him to be a good player. But let's see. Let's just watch his first ever played game in August. Just let me copy the replay. So his first game was against Damonsav 666. I think he's an experienced player, but not considered as a top player, I think. We're playing on a big landmass map. Let's see. Okay, first pick central of blue. Blue is our whatever player. As I said, he first played with an Asian letter as a nickname. Can't say how it's called. I will just tell the team colors, I think. So blue versus red. And blue is the suspected Smurf who's playing his first ever multiplayer game in Line Wars. So if he's showing anything strong, he's most likely an experienced player who either restarted playing or just went with an alternate account. But we will watch from his perspective. I think the picking phase will end somewhere. He will probably start in the middle, and let's see if Damonsav gets another spot here that is worth picking, or if he starts on the side. Oh no, interesting. He goes with the eco spot up here on the left, while Damonsav, as I've suspected, will start here. So in general, I would say this is the better spot, but of course, blue has the advantage here that he knows he has time until first contact, while red has the problem that he expects the player up here, and so he can't go full eco, while the blue player can go full eco, but he only builds a city and an industry, while placing 4 barracks for fast expansion. That's a good idea. On the other hand, as I said, he suspects early contact. Red suspects early contact and builds 2 airports and also 4 barracks for expansion. That's the worst decision. The 4 barracks. Infantry is good at expanding. So at such a big land map, that's always a good decision. But my first impression here is just those double lines smoothly scattered to catch all terrain. It's probably a Smurf. That's nothing I would suspect. And from a new player, even if he played a single player beforehand, that's too smooth and also deleting and adapting to the situation. So there's a good chance. So a strong player, but let's see how it develops. What happens if he gets contact to the opponent? What he does he make any spectacular micro or not? I will just speed up a little bit. Here comes an airport from blue and industry up. So he has the eco up here almost. And starts building his first factory. A lot of infantry. But that's good on a map like this. And we will have enemy contact any moment, so let's slow down a bit. Helicopters, also something I wouldn't expect someone to know in the first game, how to move helicopters from one place to another, so very likely an experienced gamer, at least for line 1. So more expanding down here, that is not that efficient. So if I would have played this, I would have at least split this army up into 2 lanes of capping. So no perfect lane, but still the use of helicopters is good. I'm not sure if he's playing fully at this because he's just placing infantry lanes and just let them run. Let's just look at his commands. Don't want to see the red commands. He's placing a bit of stamps. But it looks good for blue, just placing those infantry lines. Looks a little bit for me like an experienced player trying out to play infantry heavy for fun. To be honest, of course with air support. 3 airports placed down, also displacement. This is something I only expect from an experienced player. Also he holds back his stamps because he knows it's just too much helicopter, and also builds defensive lines. So he's pretty much winning everywhere, just using here a little bit until he has enough stamps. So I think I can speed this up a little bit. Damonsav is starting to build 4 factors here in the forest. And I think they will be an easy target for the infantry, because he has the possibility to build some anti-air, but he needs something to defend against those infantries too. So he cannot build only stamps. And now he's starting to lose here. Okay. Also nice use of defensive lines and blue lines to move down the infantry. So definitely not a new player. Not something I would expect in a first game of a player. Also here, moving back the infantry. But to be honest, it reminds me of another Smurf player I already have seen in the past, but I'm not sure who it was, because it was also a similar heavy infantry match, but I think it was under another name, so maybe not his first Smurf. So I think this is pretty much over, even if we're only at halftime. But I suspect that he will just go with the heavy infantry play and try to kill Red little by little. Oh, some bombers against this. But I think it's just too much infantry already here to stop it, and also he's building stamps and interceptors. And I hear some tanks too. Some commandos up here, okay. But in the end, nothing spectacular good, but definitely not a player that is unexperienced. He's not doing any micro at the front, but it could be because he wants just to place lazy infantry lines. I hope against in the later replays where he's up against some top players, he will play differently, so I can see more, because I think he knows he's winning and he's just using this lazy placement of lines just because he has the overwhelming advantage. He's giving out bombers, nearly all bombers. Speed up a little bit more because I think that it's pretty much over. Oh, okay, it's over because it's only compatible with the replay until now, but I think I've seen enough to see that that's not his first game, even if the game tells us so. But let's proceed to another replay. It was only 2 weeks ago, a little less than 2 weeks ago, I think, against Kartoffel, another German player who I really like to play against. He's a very strong player. Not at the very top, but definitely a top player. So let's see how that works out. Again, pretty much a land map, but now with a lot of oil and eco spread around. And a lot of terrain. Here's some mountains. So while there's much oil, I'm not sure if it's good to play tanks, depending on the situation. So if your players will start here on the left, it's probably not a good idea to start with tanks. But if you can drive here through the middle, then it's another topic. They're both picking the same spot. The central spot, of course. It's always a good idea to start there. Speed this up a little. So, okay, blue wants to go with an eco start, maybe down in the right corner. Also, it's our suspected Smurf is again blue, now with a second name. Again, some letters I can't read, don't know how to pronounce it. So we'll just go with blue. And Kartoffel and red. Where will he pick? I suspect he will pick something like here. Oh no, he also saw the good eco spot. Get here. 2 land territories in a single one, and blue got 3 territories in a row here. Okay, so not a favorable start. It's not a nice start. Would not expect him to start there. And now there they go for here, and I think Kartoffel will do the same. But let's see. Yeah. So no real good starting position for them yet. They keep picking same spots, and now, okay, now blue has a nice spot up here, where red has a nice spot here. Both with advantages and disadvantages. I think blue has the better eco spot, while red is faster down here for capping the central, while blue is in the better position to cap here on the left side. So let's see how they proceed. More spots here and here. Okay, interesting. Blue starts down here with 4 territories. So he likes to do surprising things, I think. Or at least surprising starts. Wouldn't expect him to start here, because if Kartoffel starts up here, he will be faster in the center on, maybe not. Maybe it's equal, but disadvantage having only 4 territories, but he can build equal fast down here. Kartoffels can start up here. Ooh, there's a potential trade route up here. 2 potential trade routes. So Kartoffel can also build a lot of eco up here, and he starts with 3 barracks and an airport. While he is down here again, infantry heavy start. Again, I would only want to see blue commands. Again, the double path command. So nothing changed here since his first game in August. But still, it's a com practice. I usually prefer single lane paths for capping, because then I can target more specific where my infantry should move, but in the end it's not that big of a difference. So yeah, he is now catching up with eco buildings first, I think, and then building up more unit production probably as soon as he sees Kartoffel. Okay, Kartoffel's checking with his helicopter if he did start here, and he will probably notice there's no opponent here on the left. Let's see if he gets the right conclusion that he started down here. And with all those barracks, he does a great job at capping, so he will be pretty fast here, but Kartoffel is already capping here, so Kartoffel can grab all those stuff on the left side here, and also those 2 trade routes here. So probably the best idea for Kartoffel for fast capping would be just build a transport plane and some commanders and shop here, so he can build up the trade route fast. But he doesn't seem to plan that. Of course, he can just walk there, that's also a possibility. Now they have contact. Let's see how they manage this. Will we see some micro of blue? Or will we just go with his already placed 2 lane commands? 2 lane path commands. He's shunning, and he's uses some blue commands to stop his infantry to moving into the opponent. So that's pretty good. So I think this engagement will be won by blue. There's more infantry here, and he is using them quite skilled. Same thing here. He instantly grabs in. He doesn't let any units move into uh, uh, combat uncontrolled. He keeps on capping to the left. So now Kartoffel starts ramping up some artillery here, so it could be advantage from, but still there's so many infantry here. So, and now we have some dot commands trying to micro into the artillery, and he does a pretty good job with that. I think a good chance that Blue can win this, but there comes the house support from Kartoffel. So it's still it's a close battle, but Kartoffel wins this engagement thanks to the helicopter support. And of course that he has artillery while the opponent is only playing with infantry. Okay, there's got static here. Kartoffel doesn't want to attack him here. He moves to the left too. Both players have started capping to the left. And Kartoffel tries to follow up here on his initial attack. He waits for his artillery, but he did not build any SAMs yet, so this helicopter can do some damage. But Kartoffel is good enough to micromanage some infantry down there and doing anti-air attacks with his infantry. But again, that's a lot of infantry here, and he's migrating them to move them into the artillery. This could be enough, especially now the helicopter can shoot. Really no infantry anti-air here this time. Well, there's the first times coming down. What's happening on the left side? Blue capping even more. Red also capping. Still a little bit far away. He could have already built up this trade route by now if he just had a single transport plane. Sorry. And now Blue starts winning this engagement due to his air support and having a lot of infantry, while not all infantry is moving there. Probably only enough to defend. I'm also building his first artillery here. I think Kartoffel... okay, Kartoffel probably saw that there are a lot of SAMs here, so he's moving to the left side to support here. Good idea. Because I think the infantry production of Kartoffel is much lower than Blue's. So if it's about numbers, Kartoffel will lose here. And he's not seeing the engagement, or at least not reacting to it, because those infantries are getting slaughtered here. So I think the right side is gonna get static more now. That's not enough pushing power for any side yet. But on the right side we have the helicopters of Kartoffel coming in, and Blue building up defensive lines for soaking up that air damage and maybe shooting down those helicopters, because defensive lines are with infantry are pretty much a light counter to helicopters, because the helicopters get in range of the infantry, and ducking infantry, especially in mountains or forests, can soak up so much damage. So that's kind of like having some SAMs here, just having all those infantry men in defensive lines. So this seems to be in favor of blue again here. I think the right side now is in favor of Kartoffel, having a lot of production going down here. Blue also sees that and digs in here, and he's building some water units here. So some SAM ships here. Probably he suspects some building here, some economy, and he can just kill it with his ships. More action on the left side. So let's have a look about the eco. I think Kartoffel is controlling more of the map. So I would expect, yes, that's over 300 advantage for Kartoffel. So even if blue gets this town, I think eco-wise this game will be in favor of Kartoffel at some point. Because he can just build more units, even if blue has better unit placement. Kartoffel can win this over time just by having much more production. Oh, that's unlucky. With them going into the defensive line of Kartoffel. He placed this command a little bit too much on the south. Too much on the north. And now Kartoffel can push up here. He can go frontal at the defensive line because he has enough units. The infantryman is soaking up damage while the artillery is shooting at the defensive line. So we can break through that here. Not enough production for blue here to defend. Probably he should use all those barracks to defend up here, but now it's too late. Pick up the town as I expected. Oh, and now there was the surrender from blue. So our suspected Smurf has lost it against Kartoffel. But I think it was not because of game mechanics. He showed a solid micro. He did not waste any units moving into defensive lines or something like that. He used his number advantage. He drew back his units when it was a good time. So in general, not because of his handling of units. There he showed that he is very capable. I think at least at the same level as Kartoffel, maybe even over that, because I think the game was decided by the starting position. While starting with the 4 territories in the south, I think it would have been a viable start if he had at least 1 or 2 towns there that he could insta-build, because so he had to expand before he can build economy, so he was much slower than Kartoffel, who could start with 6 territories, and also some economy that he could insta-build. So if I now look at the income, you'll probably see, yes, Kartoffel starts with an economy advantage, even when he expected him to have fast combat there, expecting him starting left from him. What would have been the better position for blue, I think. Then blue catching up, building all his eco stuff, but at the same time, Kartoffel can already build more unit producers because he's also faster in capping. He was faster at the left. So in the end, if you look at this point, was kind of decided because Kartoffel had enough income and enough skill to carry it uh, over time. So this was a win for Kartoffel. GG. And let's have a look at the last game that I want to have a look. This was played just a few days ago against someone said my nickname sucks. In my opinion, one of the best players in this game. Uh, when I started playing, he was already one of the best players in the game and I started, I think, about 2 weeks before the game was released in the demo. And also, I think Nickname has a few thousand hours played now in this game and is probably considered by most players as one of the top players of this game. So, on the other hand, he doesn't know probably that whatever is a pretty capable player. Maybe he's holding back because he thinks he's a noob, and at least that's what I'm doing. Even if I'm talking with a new player, if I should go slow on him, even if he says no, I still don't try to play too hard. Just because if he's really a new player, I usually have no problem beating him, even if I don't micro any situation. And I think it's the same for nickname. And now he's again against a player, whatever. Now the new name, so nobody knows him. So he will probably be surprised that he has to fight an opponent that is pretty capable. So for the map, we have again a mostly land map, but with some possible spots to place some water units, especially nickname loves to use water units when you don't expect that. Nickname especially loves to surprise you, so he's usually playing some unconventional strategies. Um, and Red doesn't have a good spot yet to start. So maybe whatever will be outplayed in the picking phase already. Because he has only here a single territory, here a 4 territory with 2 water in between, but now I think he got a good spot here. And nickname, now I think Red has a better spot here. Because he can start here with some eco and oil. And nickname could either pick here in this territory where there's nothing to insta-build, while you're having a lot of space between the players, or he could start here having a fast fight, and there he is at disadvantage only having 5 start territories. So I think now picking is going on side of whatever. So he kind of turned around the picking phase. But let's see how it develops. I will speed this up a little bit and see where they start. So whatever starts here, as I already suspected. And nickname starts here with a cross pick. So, okay, not a bad idea. He gets this oil, and this will be pretty much uncontested. Okay, and now we again are looking at whatever. Now going with a name I can't pronounce. He is building some instant eco, and again, infantry heavy start, but also 2 factories this time. So 2 factories and 4 barracks, plus 1 town and an industry. And now the 5th barrack is placed. It's kind of like a start I would also do. I would have probably built more eco at the beginning, even more than him, but something similar. Interesting. He kinda, I think, in comparison to Nickname, he kinda expects something from the enemy. So he either has watched Nickname play, or he already played Nickname with another account, because he's instantly expecting Nickname to build some water units and defending his oil here, and also building sea by himself. In general, I would consider digging in at the coast just preemptively as not a good play, but against a Nickname where you can expect some snipes at oil, it's not the worst idea. But Nickname is not doing any sea yet. But using commandos, I love it when Nickname is using commandos, at least when I'm not playing against him. He will start expanding his territory down there. And now we have first contact. Let's slow down a bit. So again, both players are retreating. No, it makes no sense just to walk into the opponent here, especially for Nickname, who is at the disadvantage here. He has much less numbers of units, again, against this masses of infantry that whatever likes to build. Also very safe placed airport, maybe to be able to react to any commando plays from Nickname. Nickname is kind of the commando king of Line War. It's always annoying if you have to play against him. He will always find a way to sneak in some commandos and destroy your stuff at the back. So maybe that's the reason why this airport was placed so far behind, so you can use some air units to use them for commando hunting. Okay. Whatever tried to brute force his way through Nickname's defense line. This did not work, but now he's getting reinforcements here, so I think with that he could be able to brute force his way through that defensive line. At the same time, Nickname is going up here, but he will has to face some helicopters. Okay, it's a general situation. Okay. As I said, usually I don't think that's a good idea to dig in so many artillery here, because if he would have had those artillery here at the front, he probably could have easily forced his way through that. And just because you expect your opponent to build some air units, you don't have to defend, especially when he's building a shipyard by himself. So this should be enough defense against an oil snipe here. So I think those artillery pieces here are pretty much wasted. And now he's brute forcing his way through that defensive line with some crew dots. That's interesting. But he is not going to pretty good. He can respond with some strikers here. Also Nickname using the top. So how's the map in general looking? That's the problem with this spot. It was a little bit slow, compared to that, because he could start with those insta-eco. He has a lot of eco nearby, so I think this time whatever has the starting position advantage, and currently it looks that he can use it. But at the same time, Nickname is very good at coming back. So let's do it. I had games against Nickname where I thought, oh, I'm ahead, I'm winning, and suddenly he is coming at you with full power, and you at the same time you're having commanders on the back, and suddenly you start losing. Let's look at the eco. 1200 for whatever. Oh, and 660 for Nickname. So that's a really, really high setback for Nickname. That's about half the income that whatever has. So from this point, I would suspect whatever to win. He has double the income of Nickname, but it really seems he knows who's he playing against, so he's really careful and not trying a full-out attack. That's also something I did in the past. I just wasn't sure enough to attack because I thought it's Nickname and will never be able to break through this. And then I watched the replay and I thought, okay, actually it would have been pretty easy to break through. Why didn't I do that? And again, so much artillery here, and he doesn't need it. Needs it. That's a lot of economy just bound to these defensive lines that could be used up here to win the game. Of course, he doesn't know that he has so much eco advantage, and the eco advantage is going down, by the way. Now it's 1280 to 780, so not double income anymore. Still a big gap. But if I look at the leftover time, I suspect that Nickname will catch up. He has a lot of eco to build here in the back. Also, maybe he will catch this town here. He's already landed here on this little island. He's building up a small proxy base down here. So if he can secure this economy, then he will control more of the map. Oh, also those strikers can pick off the artillery here. Whatever did not build enough anti-air yet, I think. Using interceptors. But Nickname will probably call back his strikers before the interceptors can do everything. Also Nickname has some anti-air by himself here, so the strikers are pretty safe here. Okay. It would be probably easier to just push through that here instead of just going up and then down again. Still, whatever has such a big economy advantage, so it shouldn't matter that much how he's using its units. He should probably just use his units to attack. It seems like he forgot those two dots. Also, here some commando shooting, yeah. And that's what I said, Nickname always finds a way to place some commandos. Now he's killing this industry here, and now probably vanishing with his commandos. So just Now, now he sees them and okay, those commanders will be catched probably. So now the fight here in the south starts. We have here 3 barracks from Nickname against 3 factories, 1 barrack, and an airport of whatever. So counting this, Nickname seems at a disadvantage here. But with so many factories and so many artillery, probably he will be not fast at going through this. And also all this invested money down here in the south means whatever can't invest that much money in the north. And I think Nickname has started to build up some defenses here that are not easily broken through. Also, whatever starts to dig in by himself, so this front is probably getting static now. And that's a point for Nickname, because stopping him here is kind of like a little bit on the left side, so he has a little bit more map control. Of course, if he loses here in the south, then it's an advantage for whatever again. Let's look at the income. We have 1,500 for whatever and 1,000 for Nickname, so still a big gap. Still 50% more income for whatever. And no, I think here whatever got outplayed from Nickname. Nickname is retreating with his infantry, baiting those infantry coming to the open space, and now the infantry will just get erased by air, and Nickname will be able to secure those lands here on top. Same thing is kind of happening here. Nickname is concentrating all his units here, while whatever is spreading out to the side, so Nickname can just walk here while having much less economy invested here, and probably with this much units he will be able to push out through here. Maybe not. That's a little bit. That's a lot. So much production, so he's probably not able to push out through. But still, while having only 3 barracks, he can kinda stop the production here from 3 factories, 1 airport, and a single barrack. So in comparison, those 3 barracks did cost 660, while 2 factories together are nearly the same cost with 616. Some helicopter action here now. Yes, with 2 airports. Yes, whatever has some air production and starts using it. Oh, by the way, the game started producing some Z units by himself. And also, whatever started putting up Navy here, but never went into the space here to see if Nickname has some Navy production. Probably because he saw that Nickname has some striker on the way. But still, at least he could have checked if there's any Navy production. Still, it's pretty static here. Whatever trying to move around here, while Nickname is holding out and probably trying to catch up with the eco. 1,600 to 1,200. So still a big gap, but it's getting smaller and smaller. And numbers of nicknames striker armada is growing. Always a good thing to have a lot of striker, because if you have enough strikers you can also overcome some sand defenses, because striker are pretty good at killing sands, at least in an open field. Again, it's another topic, but in an open field they're pretty good at killing sands. Still losing, I think, 2 strikers here against all those units here. Part SAMs, part of those infantries, and also part helicopters. Helicopters can shoot at strikers too, not dealing that much damage, but they can deal out some damage. Okay, with all those units here, whatever should have already killed nickname down here with only 3 barracks. Well, I already thought, okay, he's good with all those barrack protection, because I think since last few patches a lot of players are really underestimating how strong infantry can be. For example, I had a game against Kartoffel where he built nearly only factories. I built mostly barracks and a few factories, and I still won, while he had invested much more. So I think it's always good to build more barracks. And he's only built 1 barrack down here. Also moving units in a strange way up here. Also, he started building up a nuke. There's a way going through that defensive lines here. We can do an air raid here. As I said, striker are not that bad against anti-air, but still, whatever placed some unit. No, that's not the nickname place. This unit here. Okay. So the strikers are working quite good for nickname, because you can support his front down here and shooting down all those artillery pieces that are produced by those expensive factories down here. Still, whatever could not really break through the defensive lines of nickname here. Nickname massing some commanders here. Not sure if he wants to use them for a drop, or what does he planning. I still think all those artillery pieces are so much economy bound to their costing maintenance and just useless until now, at least, because nickname did not attack those places yet. It kinda seems for me like he's just scared against nickname, because he played them already in the past against him and expects some commando drops that are currently not coming. Good for nickname, because he can build up his economy and start catching up. Let's see, 1,800 against 1,400. There's still 400 difference. Let's speed this up a little bit. Probably will get interesting again when the nuke is ready. Nickname did not build a nuke by himself. He increases his production in the south with a factory, probably to deal with those helicopters there, and also expands, does 3 shipyards now, so he probably really plans to attack here, so maybe those artillery pieces will be not completely useless. But still, if nickname has enough cruisers, those artillery pieces will just die to them. So probably only slowed him down while kinda deleting the economy advantage that whatever had. So nuke is ready, I think. He should, yeah, he has definitely enough oil. So let's see if he uses it, or how he uses it now. There's the nuke. Probably going down here in the defensive lines just to break through. Or not, okay. Interesting. He killed an industry and damaged some infantries here, so not really what I expected. It helps probably to break through, but I don't know if this placement was worth it. I probably would have wasted more near the defensive lines to at least kill all those infantries. And he probably still would have gotten the industry, at least damaged it so far that he could have killed it. Then with the next wave of attacks here. Okay, Nickname starts placing his commandos here to support his units here, maybe? Not sure what he's planning. Because there's no real way to sneak through, I think. Oh, another sea production done here. Again, with artillery and defensive lines here. To be honest, again, I wouldn't do this. Even if I expect my opponents to play navy heavy. I could still move to the front line, and if I see that my units are getting beaten, I can still dig in some units to defend here. But whatever starts to get through here and builds up his nuke again. Let's look at the income again, whatever, nearly 2,000 and 1,500 per nickname, so we again have a difference of 500. And now nickname starts to attack here in the south. If he can get through this, then I think nickname could win this, but if he cannot push through here and cannot defend here, this is probably a win for whatever. Just speed up again. Okay, nickname defending here. Oh, that's a lot of SAM ships. This will be a costly defense if it's even not sure if it's possible. Yes, he just delayed the destruction of this oil. And now, whatever has the momentum here, he can start pushing here. Probably is gonna destroy the base. And now, what I said before, he can just kill those artillery pieces with his cruisers, because artillery pieces are just, they have so less HP, even with the defensive bonus of the defense line. The cruiser has too much HP in comparison here. Now the nuke is probably too far away to reach anything good. Let's see, I think it must be this circle, so you can send in the nuke here. Still a good target, but probably not for long. We should start it. Yes. And now. And he's taking bonus helicopters here. So, still no nuke coming. No, not yet. Okay. but now there's nothing to stop whatever's army here. Yeah, I think this is pretty much over. Even if it's nickname, I think that's just too much of an income difference. And now he's getting pushed back, both here in the middle and in the south. Also, he could not dominate the sea. I will just speed up this because I don't think there's anything exciting happening anymore. Whatever, pushing through and then trying to defend. But now the difference is just too great. It's nearly over. Nickname trying to defend, but no chance against those overwhelming. Okay, we've done. So GG to both players. Now for the question from Scornful Exultation, that he asked what I think of this player. I think he's definitely a very strong player, but I think not one of the very top. He won against Nickname. That's a feat for itself. But I think that was only because of the starting position. Nickname was too far away, did not have any sensible starting eco to build, while whatever could build up a lot of starting eco and having a lot of safe eco nearby. I think whatever delayed his win by defending too much in the back. Common mistake against Nickname. You expect him to do stuff in your base and you're just not pushing and giving Nickname time to come back. But still, it wasn't enough for Nickname. So yes, definitely a Smurf. We watched the first game, saw that he did pretty good. I didn't see anything super exceptional. Seems to me like a player plays a little bit like me. She seems to love economy spots. That's the same way I'm playing too. Also loves to play infantry heavy. Not one of those heavy factory players that it's pretty common in the meantime. Yes, it's like I'm not sure if Nickname would have picked the same way if he didn't would have known that whatever is a very capable player. So that's a reason why it's not. I don't like to say he's a top player or something like that. Would like to see a match where where every player knows that he's playing against a strong player, and I'm looking forward to play against this player too. I hope I can catch him sometime, and I hope that he doesn't change his name again because not a real fan from that. Because you want, as a experienced player, you want to give other players, especially new players, uh, a chance, or at least not crush them. And then you think you're playing against a new player, and you're not going all in, and suddenly it looks like he's a very capable player, a very experienced player, and you lose because of that. That's very annoying, I think. Yes. but in the end, it's always fun to play Line War. Played all people play more Line War, and that's all from me. GG to all players in this cast, and see you online in Line War. Goodbye.